Hello, welcome and welcome back to my channel. Yesterday, I talked about the differences between intuition, instincts, and ego, and I went on to sort of pinpoint what the ego was. And at some point, I tried to describe the difference between the feelings that the ego feels very internally, and the difference between that and the feelings that you feel in real life with real relationships and shit. Excuse me. And while I did an okay job doing that, I sort of I feel like um, Julian himself does a good job describing it better. I don't know where he got it, if he came up with it or what, but he calls it a charge. So like you feel a charge towards a certain thing, and it's associated with the ego more so than the raw feelings that you get in a particular moment. So like for example, we'll do a quick example here, and trigger warning, and this it's just a good example to be extreme and show you what I mean. um, so a real feeling would be something like if I came up to you, and we'll say you're black. If I came up to you in real life and I like shoved you and said, "Get out the fucking way, nigger," then that would be very offensive and very, you know, you would feel a lot of awful things about that, right? I assume. Even if you weren't black, to be honest. I've been called nigger in my past. It hurt my feelings. I'm not even playing. Like, black people are mean to me. Not anymore. Not all the time, but I'm just saying that shit's happened, okay? So, not that way. But anyways, I'm getting off track. So there's a difference between an actual thing happening to you versus me saying it just online for no like real uh direct personal reason. Like I could just I mean just saying the word nigger, it may draw up some feelings and thoughts and opinions or but that's your ego. And there's a certain thing that happens when you attach feelings towards the way your ego, I wouldn't say feels, but the way your ego is aligned. Um, and I like the way Julian calls it. It's a charge, and you can do things with the charge. You don't have to. First of all, people run from the charge. So, like for example, another example, you could I don't know. Okay, good example for all the men out there. You you can look at hot women all day online, but as soon as you probably see a very attractive woman in real life, your ego comes up and all these thoughts and feelings, and it's like it's just grudging up. And a lot of the time men will suppress that feeling. They will be like, no, this is not okay to feel this way. I shouldn't be thinking these thoughts. I shouldn't be feeling these feelings. I shouldn't do this and that. Typically everyone's different, but it's very common for people to suppress and run from the charge associated with the way an ego is acting. But you don't have to run from it, and it's better if you don't and you actually do something with the charge. So, but first, of course, you have to acknowledge it, and be aware that this is happening instead of just going along with the emotions of your ego in the moment. So, along with the example I gave, you see a very attractive girl, and instead of running from it and avoiding her, and like just if that's how you behave, instead of shying away from everything that you are experiencing in that moment, just take a moment, take a deep breath, and just look at her, not in a creepy way, but in an accepting way. Like, this person exists. There's nothing I can do about it. Just acknowledge and accept that this person exists in front of you right now, whatever is happening, wherever she's at, wherever you're at, however she looks, whatever is attractive about her. Acknowledge that about her and acknowledge that you feel that way within yourself and accept it. Accept the thoughts that come, accept the feelings that arise, and you will feel that charge build. And when you're aware of it, it's a lot easier to manage versus running from it. If you run from it, then your ego goes haywire and you can't even figure out how to behave anymore. And suddenly you're not yourself anymore, too. Versus if you take control and take, not initiative, but it's like a command. Not necessarily a command, but you just take responsibility for the fact that your ego is feeling a certain way. Then you can shift into a much more relaxing paradigm where you aren't so worried about this fucking girl. Because if you look at it more reasonably, more logically, you don't know her. She doesn't know you. Who the fuck are you to each other? You're just strangers. Nothing's bound to probably happen unless you go and make something happen. She might want to, but it's all in your head. Everything that you're thinking and feeling is still in your head. You haven't done anything about your ego. And so stay that way at least for the time being. Excuse me. And just be aware of the thoughts that you're having instead of self-attacking and be like, I shouldn't be feeling this way. Who do I think I am? I'm just a loser, blah, blah, blah. You can go in circles for days about that shit. But instead of overthinking the thoughts that you're having, just be aware that those are the thoughts that you're having. And then instead of getting attached to the feeling that comes with those thoughts, just let the charge show itself. And you can do anything that you want with it. You can release it. You can send it back. You can hush it. And it's different from suppressing. I want to sort of emphasize that. There's a difference between running from the charge and quietening the charge. Not suppressing it, but just mellowing it out. Like, it's okay. I have a good saying, actually, for this example. It's a phrase that I tell myself sometimes. Although never in the right moment. It's always in some other moment. But it's I don't know. But it's so, the phrase is, it's slipping from me. The phrase is, I think it's calm down, little tiger. Something along those lines. I want to say that, though. It's calm down, little tiger. Talking to that inner, for the men, or women, I guess, but really the men in this scenario, this example. It's calm down, little tiger. To sort of quell that feeling inside of you that wants to chase after every woman that you find attractive. So calm down, little tiger. Anyway, so that's just one example of a way to calm the charge, calm yourself. You can let it stay if you want, if that's what you want to do. But I recommend doing something with the charge instead of running from it. Once you're aware of it, you have to, and often I release it. So what I do is, the way I release a charge is not in a creepy way, but I will stare at a person or a thing that's has me triggered until I feel like it isn't triggering me anymore. Like I release the charge. I let it go. And then I move on. So anyway, I think that's about all I had to say. I just wanted to add that addendum and that bit of information on top of the last video I posted. And yeah, so credit to Julian for that, because it's really helpful actually. Um, and that's about it. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.